We recently took a cruise aboard the Holland America Oosterdam to Antarctica. It sailed from Santiago to Buenos Aires around South America. In this video, we're going to tell you about our favorite and least favorite things about the cruise.
Hi all, I'm Jeff.
And I'm Becky.
And together we're cruising a good time. We were so excited to sail on the Holland America Oosterdam to Antarctica. We left Santiago Chile, went around Patagonia into Antarctica, and then back up the east coast of South America to Buenos Aires and Uruguay. What a wonderful trip. We're going to give you a tour of this wonderful ship. She just had a big revamp and a dry dock in 2025. And we're just really happy to be on this ship. Stick around to the end and we'll show you all our likes and dislikes about the Oosterdam.
We publish cruising videos once per week, and ship tours are one of our specialties. So if you would like to stay up to date on relevant cruise information, please subscribe to our channel.
Like all our ship's tours, we're going to start at the lowest public deck, and then we'll go from the aft to the bow on each one of those decks as we proceed up in a very logical manner, so you'll always know where you're at on the ship.
Let's get started with that tour.
So our tour begins on deck 1 in the atrium. This is midship, and there's the only thing behind us on the aft part of deck 1 is just cabins that we're not going to show you there. It's a 3-story atrium. It's real pretty. Goes up through deck 1, 2, and 3. Guest services.
And future cruises. And this area actually, when they're not future cruises and open, is a nice place just to sit down and have a conversation.
Going forwards, this is the world stage all the way at the front. It's a 3-story theater. We're going to show you quite a bit of it as we go through each deck.
I like the look of this. It's different than anything else on other cruise ships. Kind of reminds me of a Broadway theater, one of the older ones.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. Deck 2 all the way aft. This is the main dining room. This is the lower deck on it. This would be the anytime dining floor.
You can't really see it here, but it kind of has like a little bit of an old-time elegance to it.
Yeah. And as far as multi-level dining rooms, we've been on other cruise ships. This one did not get noisy. It was very quiet.
Yeah, I appreciated that.
Moving forward, there's the Explorer's Lounge. Place to kind of hang out. They had some concert pianists and some string quartets in here.
We also saw a game show in here. It was kind of low-key.
And moving forward, we have the art gallery. Seems to be mandatory on all ships nowadays. I like this decoration on the floor of the old Dutch ship. Pinnacle Bar is right here by the atrium. It's a smaller bar.
I liked the look of this bar, and I especially loved that they offered the gourmet coffees, and you could come by and get them in the mornings.
Pinnacle Grill's right across the atrium from the Pinnacle Bar.
We enjoyed meals here, and like a secret is if you want to eat here and don't have it as part of your plan, you can pay about half price for a reduced menu at lunch.
Yeah, it was good food too. I was looking at the atrium back over towards Pinnacle Grill and then up to deck 3 right here in the atrium area. This is the elevator lobby midship. I like the covers on the elevator doors. And they have these panoramic elevators that run up the outside of the ship. And on this particular deck, they have the chart and the weather information on the monitors there, so you can kind of see what's going on. Going forward, the Rolling Stone Lounge. This is one of the live music lounges on board.
So this is one of my favorite areas of the ship. They have a great rock and roll band. I love how Holland America brings in terrific artists to be in the band.
They do a good job with that. It's also the main point for the Orange Party on board, which is also a lot of fun.
It usually has a great turnout and just a great vibe on the ship.
We had a good time there, yeah. The band was very, very good, as Becky mentioned. Moving forward, we got a little area to look outside as we move towards the Billboard Lounge, which is a piano lounge. She was a very good pianist as well. They have it set up for trivia here. They do a lot of trivia.
They also had a lot of TVs, and they had the NFL playoff games here.
Yeah.
So they needed all those chairs for those days.
Needed all those for that day, too. The casino's right across the hall. We'll show you some of that in a second. This is a good lounge, just kind of chill in. This is a casino bar on the other side of the ship.
Yeah, it's great. You can run by, get a glass of water here. It's usually not very busy.
A lot of slot machines, some video poker, and then they had several table games. They had 3 blackjack tables with $10, $15, and $25 minimums. Several of the other type of table games. Craps was a $5 minimum with 2 times odds. We had a lot of fun there. The dealers and the staff there were really knowledgeable and very good.
And very friendly.
And very friendly. Very friendly indeed. Then moving forward, we're heading towards the world stage. And all the seats are pretty good.
They were, except for these poles throughout. They did lead to some obstructed views, so you had to be careful where you sat.
They did a lot of enrichment talks on this. This is the captain.
So he is my favorite captain from all the cruises. He had a great sense of humor. And for Antarctica, the weather and all the plans are very, very important. And he would share the details and decisions made and everything with us. And he just did a magnificent job.
Absolutely outstanding captain. We had 3 enrichment experts on Antarctica and a lot of great information. Deck 3, all the way aft in the dining room. This is the traditional dining floor. So we ate here. We had traditional dining at 7:30 every evening. And so this is where we had our dinner most nights. Great staff.
Yeah, we had great staff, and the food was really very good.
Yeah, it was great food. We actually had lobster night one night, which is a big deal for me. And seems like a lot of ships are doing away with that. And then beef Wellington's also one of my favorites. So it was a nice beef Wellington.
Yeah, it wasn't even a formal night.
Photo gallery with the duck and the R there. He's moving forward off the dining room. You can also get a lot of prints off the Navigator app with the face recognition. But you can buy videos and binoculars.
Yeah, binoculars essential for this trip.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely take binoculars to Antarctica. Ocean bar is midship around the atrium on deck 3. And this is a larger bar. It's a lot easier to get a seat in Pinnacle. They'd have some live music over there on the other side. Made a good Manhattan here.
I liked it that if you're by a window and saw something you wanted to see, it was easy to run outside on deck 3.
We'll show you some of that here in a second. One thing Holland America does, I like the days of the week on the carpet and the elevator, so you know what day of the week it is. It's handy on long cruises. Shops in deck 3 going forward there. They have watch shop, and then this is a clothing and knick-knack shop.
The one really disappointing thing is they had nothing for Antarctica.
Yeah, I was really bummed out about that.
Yeah, and it's not like you're stepping off onto a souvenir stand at Antarctica
No,
and buying a
not at all.
sweatshirt.
Not at all. All the HAL ships have a really nice library. It's an honor principle and check out, check in. Come in there and do some reading or just kind of hang out.
And of course, they have the mandatory Effie shops.
Yep.
I guess this is the room you get to go in if you have spent more money.
That's right.
But they really were very, very friendly staff. I do enjoy browsing at Effie.
Absolutely. They had these 3 little conference rooms area. They'd set them up for mahjong or knitters or bridge. You watched our video on the cabin tour for Oosterdam. We actually filmed it right there in that room with the mahjong. They weren't playing mahjong at the time. World stage on deck 3. This is the mezzanine level. One thing Hal does that's kind of neat is the train station, what I call the train station with the shore excursions, that you can see where shore excursions are leaving and when they're leaving and all that. So it's a little more logical in that way.
Oh, here's that outside deck. I absolutely love this. It's a great place to go get your steps. And deck 3 is a terrific place to look for wildlife. You're closer to the water. And just take those binoculars, have a great time.
It's great. Yeah, we saw a lot of wildlife from that deck. This is deck 4. This is the bow. The captain would open up the bow on, this is in a fjord in Chile, but during Antarctica, even approaches into ports, you could go out there and watch what's going on. And he'd open up some of these other forward balconies on these decks as well.
Yeah, this was incredible. And then they'd also have one of their Antarctica experts out there with you to help with all the spotting and stuff.
Deck 9 all the way aft. This is a sea view pool. Had a pool and a couple hot tubs.
We spent many an hour in the hot tubs and swam in this pool.
This is the Antarctic plunge. You could sign up and do the Antarctic plunge here. So I decided to film and let Becky and Jennifer do the plunge. Got a little certificate for doing that. The sea view bar right here. Moving forward, we have the Lido Market, which is the buffet.
This area usually had some sort of special thing going on every day at lunch.
Yeah, they'd have some really nice stuff right there. The buffet was laid out pretty reasonably. It didn't get too terribly crowded.
It didn't seem to get as chippy as so many buffets do.
No, that's true. Yeah, I've seen. There's a lot more level-headedness going on in there than some other cruise ships I've been on.
I also think that the layout was really conducive to the size of the ship, etc., so that it wasn't as crowded. Although it was sometimes hard to get a seat at breakfast.
Yeah. Yeah, they'd have a lot of seats, but it'd still get crowded at breakfast, especially in Antarctica when everybody wanted to look out the window. Plenty of places to get some drinks and all. This is the Lido pool. This is the retractable roof pool midship. There's a couple hot tubs, 3 hot tubs, and a pool.
And I love that they have this because they can keep the temperature very comfortable in there. So Antarctica, day 1, we spent most of the day outside. Day 2, when it was snowing, we spent most of the day at the window, and we saw so many whales from looking out these windows. So this was just awesome. And it also has the dive-in where you can get burgers and fries, a few other items.
Those are great burgers too, by the way. Yeah, we really enjoyed the burgers there.
And I love that you can order them on the app.
And then going forward, they have this sauna that is free to use. So you just go in there and sit in the sauna for a little bit if you wanted to. It's a dry sauna. And the greenhouse spa and beauty shop up here.
Yeah, we did not spend any time in here, but it has the normal things with that you can get the beauty stuff. You could get a massage, pedicures, manicures, I think Botox.
The gym was nice. A lot of different machines to get some exercise on, some free weights and weight machines.
Yeah, when I was up here doing physical therapy, I had plenty of room to work out in. It was really nice.
And you can go forward on that and go out on one of those balconies we showed you a while ago while we're down on the bow. So you can go out here and take a look. And then back deck 10, this is back in Antarctica. Looking at it, you can see the hot tubs on the pool down there. Better view of them right there. A lot of deck space.
Yeah, love that aft end of the pool with this pool and the hot tubs.
We're going to be on this ship in 2027 for the solar eclipse in the Mediterranean, and I really enjoyed seeing all this deck space out here, so a lot of places to observe the eclipse.
This was a great area. If you look forward there, the building up front, that is the crow's nest. So, on Antarctica, you can spend some time watching from all the windows in the crow's nest and then just take a quick run out here and get the photographs when you see something, like a whale or penguins on an iceberg that you want to get a photo of.
And we got the crow's nest moving forward right here.
So many people have blogged that this is like the best hidden secret. There's no secret about the crow's nest. Everybody is in the crow's nest.
It would get kind of crowded up here, yes. But they had a lot going on. They had puzzles and games if you want to play those. And a lot of viewing up here. It's a good place to check it out. That's the Antarctic experience right there. So they had a lot of charts and books and information about Antarctica you can go read and check out.
Yeah, it's a slideshow there on the side. They also have a bar where you can get specialty coffees or different drinks.
This is deck 11. This is back aft again. This is the sports court. They did a lot of pickleball, a little bit of hoops up here, mostly pickleball. And this is deck 11 forward. This is an area where they normally have like a retreat area where you could rent a cabana, but for Antarctica, they didn't have the cabanas up for obvious reasons, I think. But it was a good place to go up there and do some viewing.
We released a separate video on our cabin, so we did not put that here, but we'll leave a link to that down below.
So on to what we really liked about the Oosterdam. And number one on that was just the beautiful ship. She's a beautiful ship. I like all the decorations on there. Very spacious for the number of passengers. She's about 82,000 tons, carried a little over about 1,964 passengers. And we never really felt crowded, except for a couple mornings with some tendering shore excursions. And I think that's kind of common with almost any ship. But really nice layout. Never felt real crowded anywhere on the ship.
Yeah, and going into that is we also loved the amount of deck space. So tremendous amount of deck space so you could walk outside and be able to do viewing of all the different sites and wildlife on different levels. And we love there's so many places that had fabulous windows. So you could be comfortable and inside, especially when we were in the snow and sleet in Antarctica on one of the days. It was great to be inside and only go outside when there was something we absolutely wanted to see just, right there.
Yep. One thing this ship did right that in line with all of Holland America is just the fantastic talent they recruit for the Rolling Stone Rock Room. They go out and find these fantastic musicians, and it's just really a lot of fun to dance to and listen to. There's really a lot of fun in that lounge.
That is absolutely one of my favorite things about Holland America. It really was top-notch music, and we really enjoyed it over at the Rolling Stones Lounge. Another thing, though, that we loved about the ship is the food was very, very good. So we've sailed on 2 Pinnacle-class ships in the last year, and the food here was better than what we'd had on either of those cruise experience. And the dining room staff was more polite and quicker and helpful. It was just really a joyful dining room experience.
2 words, lobster night. That did it. It was great. No, it was really great food all the way around. We really enjoyed it. And in fact, the whole staff was really good. The whole staff would just kind of go out of their way to make you be very friendly and make sure you felt welcome and help you with any type of concern that you had.
Yeah, I really liked that about the staff. Our room stewards were really, really terrific. We had 3 people in our room, and it was wonderful that they would put the bed out at night, fold it up in the mornings. We'd have plenty of room to move around the cabin.
Yep. The cabin was great, too, because you just had a lot of room in there, a lot of cabinet space and all that. We talked about it in that other video. We really invite you to go watch that other video because great cabin for an interior cabin, 3 people, 22-day cruise. Worked out wonderfully.
Yeah, 22 days is a long time to be together. So, great to go see that video. Also, though, for everybody on the Holland America line, they make up your room twice a day. So that is a fabulous thing.
That's a big deal. You really liked the Lido pool.
Well, I do.
All the pools.
Yeah, I did like, yeah. So I never swam in the Lido pool, but the Lido pool, what I really liked is they have that retractable roof, so they can make that Lido pool area comfortable no matter where you are with it open or closed. And when we were in Antarctica and it was snowing and sleeting combo, it was wonderful. We had a table right next to the window, and we could whale watch, and it was one incredibly fabulous day for whale watching.
Extraordinary.
Yeah. So that was just fabulous because it really was just stupidly cold out on the bow. I did go out there for a while, and I was really happy to retreat back in that Lido pool area. One of the things I absolutely loved about this cruise was the enrichment experts they brought aboard. They brought in 3 people who had doctors in different things and had done research and lived in Antarctica. And they were personable and great speakers, and they'd have somebody on the bow of the ship to answer all your questions. And we'd find them around the ship in different places. They were absolutely incredible.
All their lectures were just great. I feel like I got a master's degree in Antarctica by going through there, because you talked about the geology, the ice, the wildlife, the weather, living there, everything you can possibly imagine. Great. Like Becky said, they're very personable, easy to engage. You'd run into them in just an atrium right there, and they'll talk your ear off about Antarctica. They're on a PA system and all the great sights to see there. Just a wonderful experience. Holland America and Captain Kevin at the Oosterdam did a fantastic job with that. The other thing we really liked was the Billboard Lounge. You know, again, some great musical talent. She's a fantastic musician on a keyboardist right there. But even if she was in between sets, it was just a great lounge, just kind of hang out in and visit with other passengers and see what's going on and all that.
Next, let's talk about the things that we didn't like so much. So number 1 for me, if you've seen other videos from us, I like to know when I'm going to eat. I don't like it that, like we asked for traditional dining early, and before we got on the ship, we had no idea which dining time that we had. After you get on from the room key, we could see that we had the late seating. However, also, if you have ordered anytime dining, for some cruise lines, you can get on the app before you're on the cruise and make all your dining reservations and be all set when you get on the cruise. I dislike it then on Holland America, when you get on the cruise, you're going to go stand in line. There'll be a couple of different places that you can stand in line, and you can try to make dining reservations. And if you get on the ship late, there will be less dining times that you can select. So I really dislike that. And I've seen on a different ship, I've seen unhappy people with this. I have to say, in all fairness, though, there were a couple nights that we couldn't make our dining time, so we had to just walk up for anytime dining, and we were seated right away. Yeah. So we had no problems with it, but I just wish that they had an app that you can make all the reservations ahead of time.
And kind of in line with the app right there is one thing we've talked about in other Holland America videos is having to sign and use your room key to get every single type of room charge or drink. Why doesn't Carnival Corporation move the Princess Medallion technology to Holland America is beyond me. They own the technology, and it makes for a much better cruise, much easier. They know your name a lot quicker. They easier to do the room charges and everything else, and to find other fellow passengers. So somebody watching from Carnival Corporation, please move the technology over to your other brands.
So another disappointment for me was the music options before dinner. So a lot of the lounges were very small. So the one that had the most space had the music of South America every single night. And so I really don't speak Spanish. So having Spanish songs for 22 nights in a row was, I really wanted more variability. They had lots of talent. I wish you'd have opened them up where they could have mixed up their venue on different evenings.
Yeah, that would have been, just give some variety in there is really the point. It's just to get kind of long on the tooth, the same band all the time.
With the same songs in the same genre.
Yeah. One thing around the game shows that the cruise staff points up, they only do those once a night. And if you're on the second seating, you miss them because you're sit down for dinner at 7:30 and they do these game shows at 8, 8:15, so you're not done with dinner. So you miss out on some of that entertainment activity. And I wish they'd maybe do those a couple times a night or stage it like they do the theater so you could see different seatings in there.
Yeah, and that's typically one of my very favorite activities. So that was a big disappointment for me. I'm not huge on production shows, but the ones I enjoy are the really big, elaborate ones that have a plot. And here, the production shows are a little lower key, and so just not quite as big as what you see on the bigger cruise ships. However, we did enjoy like the comedians that they had on the show.
They had great comedians. The dancers were good on the show too. I thought, but like I said, it wasn't a big production show. It was just more of a dancing type number on that.
Yeah, and one of the numbers was the exact same show we'd seen on a previous ship.
One thing that was during lunchtime is sometimes difficult to get some lunch, particularly if you're on port, because the dining room was only open at sea days, and so you had the buffet or the dining room, and then the dive in if you want another hamburger, and then of course the Pinnacle Grill is open for a charge on that. So it's kind of hard to get lunch sometimes on the ship.
Yeah, and so, most cruise ships also have a pizza place out by the pool.
This is true. Yeah.
And it's nice just to have that little bit of something that's easy to drop by and pick something up super fast, and you don't have to get in just a big group of people. And I missed that this ship doesn't have a pizza bar. Okay, Jeff, the big question we always ask, would you cruise on the Oosterdam again?
Absolutely, I'd cruise on Oosterdam again. And we've kind of given that away already, is that we're going to be doing a solar eclipse cruise on her in August of 2027 in the Mediterranean. One, because it's a fantastic itinerary. She's going to be a great spot on the center line. But since we did this ship, I'm really excited about it because it's great deck plan, great layout, and great staff. So I think it's going to make for a wonderful cruise on that particular cruise for us. So I would cruise on that ship again if I wasn't booked on it already, and probably will.
Yeah, my only disappointment is that Captain Kevin is moving to a different ship.
Yeah, he's going over to Oosterdam, and so which we've already booked one on there, but that's in 2028. We don't know if he'll still be around there or not. But yeah, he's a fantastic cabin, and I think that made for a great cruise because management leads from the top down in this case, and I think everybody was very, very good because he was an excellent leader, very fun, and really sought out the best in all his people from what I could tell.
We hope you've enjoyed this video.
If you liked the video, please give us a like and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the relevant information in the cruise industry.
Until next time, have a cruising good time.